I'm live. I'm alive. I'm alive. Wow, this is crazy. Hello, everybody. This is Timo Vuorensula, the director of Iron Sky, and I'm talking to you straight from Lauttasaari, Finland, where I'm basically stuck in quarantine and lockdown. The whole country is currently in the state of lockdown, and this means, in very simple and um, very clear terms, that we're not allowed to leave the country and nobody's allowed to come here. In addition to that, Helsinki, the city that I live in, and the whole Uusimaa area where the city is located in, is also in a state of lockdown. So in addition, for us not being able to leave the country, or we're also not able to leave the whole Helsinki area. And this is quite a spectacular and special situation. So I can tell you only that I don't think that we've ever been. Well, I know for sure we've never been in this kind of situation. So it's quite a strange thing to to do. Anyway, I decided to, because right now I have quite a lot of time in my hands, I must say, because I cannot do anything. I decided to start a little quarantine relief podcast with you guys. Now, I actually do have some announcements and some actual news coming up also later on. So stick around for a bit of a time. And most importantly, I want this to be a conversation between all of us. So I can see that, as you guys can see, there is a live chat. I can see the live chat on the right hand side of my screen, and I can already see Paul saying hi. I'm going to say hi to Paul, and Andreika saying greetings from Vienna. Vienna, I love that city. Oh, Vienna. That's one of the songs. And I can see even James Quinn uh, alive and chatting here. James Quinn from all the Iron Skies is also on board here. So right now, what I want to do, what we will be doing here for the next couple of minutes, is let's talk about the world. But also, like I said, there is an announcement which I want to make a little bit later on. But this is something that I want, and you are more than welcome to suggest topics to discuss, and also questions, whatever you have in mind. But yeah, this is where we are. I can now see also, I'm also live currently on Instagram, so this is like a dual live. I'm not sure if that sort of crossing the boundaries of Facebook owned content and Google owned content is even legal, but we are in a very, very strange and special situation, so we're going to do both at this time. So guys, how are you guys doing in your countries? Are you stuck in lockdown? Are you stuck in some kind of quarantine measures? Are you guys safe? Are you guys healthy? Personally, I've been extremely healthy, actually, surprisingly healthy the whole month. So I don't know if I'm one of the ones who carry the sickness, but it doesn't, the unsymptomatic ones, or I just didn't get it yet. I'm not saying that I wouldn't be, but right now I've been pretty lucky. Um, yeah, so that's something. Uh, there is a question here. Somebody's one friend of ours called Enchanted Animations, who's an Iron Sky fan, who makes actually his own Iron Sky related content. By the way, go check it out on his channel on YouTube, Enchanted Animations. Anyway, he's asking, how do we feel? How do I feel about Finland being in such full turmoil? I don't know. You know what? As a science fiction film writer, I find it funny, this whole situation, because in science fiction, throughout all these years, we've always seen these pandemics things, whether it's a science fiction film where aliens are attacking, or there's a global virus spreading, or it's a zombie movie or whatever. We always see these news reports of how the whole world is crumbling apart as things are going wrong, and how how everybody's panicking and everything's. It's actually not like that. Like in real life, compared to movies, it's usually a little bit more boring and dull. It's just dull version of science fiction. I mean, it's all huge things that are happening constantly, which I totally see around myself. I look at the news. It's like reading one of those science fiction, watching one of those science fiction TV things. But at the same time, everything is pretty much normal. The only thing is I can't go out of my home. But as a filmmaker, that's basically what filmmakers do. We stay in our home and our work for the most part of our time, and then sometimes, yeah, we go to festivals. I did go to Berlin Film Festival earlier this year, just before the whole thing started to actually unfold. And then now it seems, I think Cannes Film Festival is canceled for sure, and all the film festivals have been canceled for sure. So everybody is staying at home. But it also does remind us of a couple of things. I think it's really good to notice and see that that how much we can also do online. And this also goes all the way into film distribution. I think this is also what this coronavirus thing does. I mean, it's a terrible thing, and it's a huge crisis in many senses. But what it also does is that it does speed up the transformation from digital to from traditional film to digital distribution, meaning that all the windows between when it's on a theater, when it's coming out on Netflix or whatever streaming platform, those are going to get smaller and smaller, and sort of they're going to disappear because, well, truth be told, we are now in this world where that kind of window thinking is not anymore efficient. Of course, this is an extreme situation. We cannot go to movie theaters to watch these movies. But when this all clears out, and I'm sure that it will clear out eventually, when this all clears out, I think we emerge in a bit of a different world in many ways, and it's not going to be a better world. It's not going to be healthy or anything like that for sure. This is we have to remember a huge tragedy which is going on, but it's also going to be changed, and it's going to be quite different from what we used to. So all of these things are somewhat changing. Anyway, there's a lot of discussion here going on. Let me see. Lance is telling hello from New Jersey. New Jersey, how are things in New Jersey? I mean, I think New York is right now going through quite a brunt of the whole sickness. I'm really sorry about that. How is New Jersey? I don't know exactly, but he's asking. Lance is asking, what kind of approach do you have in the works? Well, I have a bunch of things that are kind of in the floating out there because, well, as we know, nothing is happening in the world of film at this point. You may know that we have the Chinese Iron Sky called The Ark, which has been in post-production for quite a while, and just as we were hoping to get things cleared up with it and getting ready for the release, well, the whole coronavirus started this in the beginning of the year, which led into a situation where basically everything went to a shot, and now we have to reshuffle everything. And I don't know when it's coming out. Probably not later this year, maybe early next year is more like, because all the films in China that were supposed to be released in the beginning of the year had been now either canceled or pushed later, and now they are all coming in a huge horde when the film theaters reopen. Because in China, they took obviously closed all the film theaters like they did here in Finland, but also at the same time they did try to open up those film theaters a couple of days ago, and then they reshut them again because they realized that maybe that wasn't going to work. So yeah, that's definitely the situation with that film right now. It's hard to say exactly when it's coming out, but yeah, that's one of the films that we have in mind. But we have a bunch of other things, and there's something I want to talk to you about in a little while. I'm happy to hear that James is telling that Ali and I are self-isolating. That's good. Self-isolation is good. And yeah, I think Henrik is asking a very good question about reptilian. Are the reptilian shapeshifters from Hollow Earth, are they COVID-19 resistant? I'm not sure. Where do you think the whole COVID-19 came from? in the first place. Oh yeah. So that's one thing. HPC is telling that we are allowed to go outside, but we're not allowed to meet in groups with more than 2 persons in Germany. It's about the same in Finland. We're also allowed to go outside. I just did a long walk outside. By the way, I'm walking outside now much more than I did before this whole Corona thing. Is like I used to go from bus to metro to office to bus to metro to shop to office to gym. That's what I was doing before this whole thing is, and now I'm stuck at home, so the only thing I can do is actually walk around. Luckily, I live in a very beautiful area in Helsinki called Lauttasaari. If you don't know it, Google it. It's beautiful. So there's a lot of things to see around here and take a nice long walks out there. Ilkka Koutonen is asking, is this announcements related to the Steelbook Blu-rays we're supposed to be getting ages ago? Unfortunately not. As you probably know, and you already noticed if you've been following the Iron Sky streams and stories for the last couple of months, weeks, months at least, is the situation is as follows. Currently, things are not remarkably great in the Iron Sky universe, and the reason is that we were fighting hard to get everything done to release the movie. That was the main perk which we wanted to do with the whole crowdfunding and all the campaignings we had. We were working for years and years and years and put all of our efforts in the fact that we wanted to release the movie of Iron Sky, The Coming Race. And as many of you know, it was not an easy road. It took us 7 years. And eventually when we released the whole film, we were just totally, it was definitely not an easy run to get the film done, but we did it and we released it, and we are happy to say that nearly all the perks that we had for the crowdfunding campaign we were able to deliver. But the only unfortunate fact is that the Blu-rays and the DVDs are still waiting for future events that hopefully will solve and help us out in the future. But currently we don't have a really good answer for this, so I'm really sorry. So you're gonna have to be waiting for the Blu-rays still more. Luckily the film itself is available in basically everywhere and on digital and everything, so you can definitely check it out. And probably all of those who ordered the Blu-ray should have also had links for the digital version of the film, so you had a chance to see it. But like I said, the actual physical we're still working on and hopefully trying to get a solution for that. We have then some further discussions going on, but somebody retracted that message. But anyway, this is basically what we've been dealing right now. And in other things, what's going on? Yeah, I mean, it's been quite a interesting year. We released the whole film. It's been going out nicely around the world. At the same time, it's also been a very eventful year. We also started to do quite a lot of things we wanted to start moving forward with Iron Sky. We have had huge lot of conversation, discussions, dealings with a lot of people in order to find exactly what are the best possible ways to take the whole Iron Sky franchise further. As you guys know, probably, I have a story called I have a story of what I call the Iron Sky, the third Iron Sky, the last Iron Sky, which used to be called Iron Sky Endgame, by the way, before this small film called Iron Sky. The small film called Avengers Endgame came out. We're figuring out the new name for that. But anyway, so we have a story which we want to tell to end the whole thing. But it's a big story. It's we are again facing the same situation we've always been facing. It's like, okay, this is great. This is wonderful. We have a big story we want to tell in our heads, but at the same time, we have to figure out a way how to finance it and make it somehow financially possible. So this is something, and this is what we were working on actually quite actively just before this whole crisis hit. And right now the situation is that everything also in the Iron Sky universe is completely stopped. We cannot do anything. None of the discussions or things are progressing anywhere. The only thing we can do is just write and prepare and sort of do that kind of things. And any actual things are just waiting for things to calm down a little bit on the whole world. But again, it's really this is where we are right now in the whole world. It's not really just us. I hear all these big productions being shut down, being canceled, being pushed later. So it's not an easy situation for films. But the good thing is, no matter how and in what kind of a world we come out of after all this, films, TV stories will be needed. So that's one thing we can be for 100% sure, and that's definitely possible. All right. Jaroslav is saying that he actually got the digital. He has a problem with the digital movie. So I'm really sorry to hear that because we've been sending out the links to the digital movie to our backers on Indiegogo, and sometimes I do hear back that they have either ceased to work or they don't work at all. The best way to contact right now is to contact info@ironsky.net. Drop an email there. Let me know if you have a link which doesn't work for whatever reason, especially now that we're quarantined. I definitely want to make sure that this film is available for all of you to watch. So drop an email there and it goes straight to us and we're able to solve it out. We'll figure out to get the link for you. So that's definitely something that we want to do. So absolutely, go do that. info@ironsky.net. Drop an email there and I'll figure out a way for you to watch the movie. I'm sorry if there's been a problem with that. All right, and then there's some further questions. I'm going to take just one more question, which I'll be answering. Is HPC's asking about the. By the way, Jaroslav, please send one more time the email. We had some problems with the email for a couple of months, so right now they should be working. So do send one more time the email. I'm sure it should start working right now. And Jarmo and the people in the back of this, if you guys are listening, let's keep an eye out for Jaroslav's email when it comes through. HPC is saying, asking what happened to Jesus in Iron Sky 2. The teaser was awesome. I do agree. Jesus actually was a character in Iron Sky, the coming race, for quite a while. But then the other part of the character was actually Osama bin Laden. And I was like, I wanted to make a counterparts for each other. And I realized that actually this is not what I want to be talking about. I don't want to be talking about Jesus. I don't want to be talking about religions in such terms. I want to talk about religious extremism. So in that case, we decided that no, Jesus was not a religious extremist. He was a philosopher and thinker and religious figure, whatever. Religious extremism in the Christian sense was crusades. So we wanted to take the guy who set up the crusades. He's a pope. Pope who came up with the idea of the crusades, and obviously on the other side we had Osama, who was representing the extremist Islamism. So that kind of things we did make as a decision after we had shot the trailer, because we realized that it just wasn't completely balanced, for good or bad. And then here we are. So, okay, that's basically what we are doing right now. So, yeah, okay. So let's go to the actual announcement of what I'm actually talking here. Right now, what we've been working on for the last couple of years, and obviously there's a lot of work that we've been doing on different projects. But one of the projects that's been sort of brewing underneath it all is a film that our own Tuomas Tuppurainen has been producing. Directing, editing, doing in the back of everything, and it's actually turning out into a very, very fine film. And it's called Shoot for the Moon. We call it the Shoot for the Moon, and it's a documentary, and it's a documentary about what we have been doing for the last, I don't know how many years, 10, 12, 13 years. It's not an Iron Sky documentary per se. I actually want to call it more an entrepreneurship documentary. It's talking about what it means to try to reach for the moon, even if you are not in a position to actually reach it very easily. It's a documentary about trying, going for the limits and trying to go beyond them. And this documentary, which is about an hour long documentary, talks about all the I call it like trials and tribulations of the production. All the trials and tribulations we've had during this production of Iron Sky. And it definitely hasn't been an easy road, as you guys know. And but again, this is the point of the documentary, which Thomas has been working. Is more about trying to uncover the passion that we have behind this whole thing and the reasoning why we're doing this, instead of just telling, how did we do things. So it's not a making of documentary. It's a documentary about the people and the passion behind making these films, or I guess any films in general. And we're going to be putting it out for free in 2 weeks time, approximately. Don't kill me if it's not 2 weeks, but it's going to be around 2 weeks time. So the film is more or less ready currently, and you can head over. Let me see if you can go do that. Let me find out. All right. So what you can do next is you can go over to ironsky.net. So www.ironsky.net. You can go over there and you can click that link, and then you should be seeing the first poster for the film Shoot for the Moon. And as you can see, we decided to specifically make this poster more about entrepreneurship and more about the sort of chasing for impossible dreams and stuff like that, instead of making it 100% Iron Sky making of. So this film itself is coming out now in about 2 weeks time, and we'll be doing that. Actually, we'll be premiering it here on YouTube. I'm going to try this YouTube premiere thing. I haven't done it before, so we don't know exactly how that's going to happen. But in about 2 weeks time, we'll be putting that film out, and this film should be then we should be able to watch it together. Now, I don't know if that's going to work. I have to find out if the technology is available for that. But the point is, it's going to be released on most likely on YouTube, and definitely for free during the month of April. I don't know exactly when. I do have a date in mind, but I better not say it if anything goes wrong and we have to fix something. So that's something. But again, that should be something, a little something else to do during the quarantine, and something for you guys to watch during the quarantine times. Right, so this is something that we're doing. So go to ironsky.net, check out the poster. You get a bit of a feeler of what's coming up with there, and there's going to be a lot of quite a lot of interesting things happening in the future, hopefully. But again, right now nothing is happening because we're stuck here. But at least we can watch a documentary about the good old times, pre-coronavirus times of people making movies and worrying about things that are not related to corona. Right now the news is all flooded about it, and it's for a very good reason. But at the same time, there was a world before this times, and we can go back into that by watching this documentary. Anyway, that's what we're doing. Will it be uploaded? So let's go back to a bunch of questions which people have been asking. First and foremost, sick of being sick 77. I'm really sorry that you have been sick since 77, I guess. So hopefully you're not sick right now. He said, be honest, you fucked up part 2. Stop begging for more money. Oh my God. Oh God. This is horrible. You're hurting my feelings. No, you're not. Okay, I won't beg anymore. You don't have to give me any money. Sick of being sick. That's fine. I'm not going to beg money from you. Will you be making more movies in the future after all this blows over? For sure. If it blows over in a way that there is movie industry still left behind this, after all this, for sure we'll be making more movies. But again, we don't know how things are going to turn out. So let's see how it goes. Hi, Timotero. Good to have Iron Sky 2 digital. Great time to watch Iron Sky 1 and 2. That's true. Quarantine is a fantastic time to watch Iron Sky 1 and Iron Sky 2 and everything else related to Iron Sky. Just have a nice Iron Sky evening. I think that's definitely worth it. We can actually even, if you guys gonna do it, let's do a viewing thing. you know what, I'm going to start thinking about this. It would be great if I was to watch Iron Sky 1 and Iron Sky 2 with you guys, and we could talk about it while we watch it. In a way, you know, you guys press play on your end, and I press play here, and we watch it, and then you ask questions, and, you know, communicate. I don't know if it's going to work, but let's see. That'd be actually a fun way to spend one of these long days or nights. There's another question is will it be uploaded somewhere elsewhere in better quality than YouTube? Yeah, let's see if we can put it out on Vimeo. I guess that's also a possibility. Let's see. I don't know exactly technically how we're going to do it. Right now, we've been thinking about just YouTube release, but let's see if we put it out also somewhere else. That's a good point. The quality needs to be very good. Corona just gives me more time to make my 100 sub special. Thank you, Enchanted Animation. Do that. That's great. That's a good. Premise for Iron Sky 3. MA suggesting virus outbreak. To Mars we go. Yeah, well, that's how it is. I'm not saying anything to that, but the Mars, yeah, for sure. James Quinn, look for Commodore Johan, Deputy Commodore Johan. This is James's character on Iron Sky, The Coming Race, and before that he played the reporter in the first Iron Sky. And again, fantastic guy, fantastic roles, fantastic things. Also very, very handsome. That's what I want to say. Very, very handsome. Super handsome. One of the most handsome people I actually met in my whole life. I think there's a website for it where it pauses for everyone. Is there really? Lettermouse 5? If you find out this, just drop a hint to, let's say, me, Timo at ironsky.net. Just drop an email. Where is that kind of place? I'd love to do something like that. You know, we watch a movie and then we talk about it. You know, we don't have anything better to do. Great. Simultaneously, by the way, I've been doing this on the Instagram live, so this is a double live. There's a couple of questions on Instagram. When is the next Iron Sky? The next Iron Sky is, you know, nobody knows. We don't know. We never know anything, and now we know even less. So I better not say anything. But, you know, in the future, for sure. And then Nickel Plated Gold is saying on Instagram, I love these movies. I love these movies too. They're very fun to make. I can tell you one thing. It's very, very fun to make. It's not very easy to make, but it's very, very fun. I don't know why I'm speaking this weird accent. Anyway. Good. And Bruce Lombardo is saying, I admire your work. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Bruce. I'm happy that you guys dig it. So anyway, I'm going to start wrapping this up. It's been half an hour. Thanks a lot for following. We'll be back 1 week from now. I'll show you a trailer of Sky, The Coming Race. And I'll show you a trailer of not Iron Sky, The Coming Race, but of the Shoot for the Moon film. Let me see. Yeah, I should be able to show a trailer then. But until then, I would suggest that you guys take it easy. Keep washing those hands. Stay in. Social distancing, all that, you know, keep it cool. We don't want any more spreading of this virus. We need to get back on the saddle. We need to get back on the saddle. The whole world needs to get back on the saddle. It's weird time. But again, you know, this is what it is. This is where we are. This is the weirdest thing about everything is right now. Everything is really, really weird. Anyway, thank you very much for this. In about 1 week time, we'll learn more about Shoot for the Moon documentary. And I'm going to also start finding out a little bit more about if there would be a chance to do sort of a communal watching experience for Iron Sky, The Coming Race, now that we're in quarantine. That'd be fun thing to do. Anyway, thank you very much. Bye-bye, everybody. And I'll see you next time, 1 week from now. This is Timo signing out from Lauttasaari. Bye-bye.